Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Misty Mountain Streaming. I'm the D&D Wannabe. My name is Rob, and we have something a little bit different planned for you tonight. I spent the better part of today figuring out what software I needed or connections I needed or anything to stream my phone onto my computer. Could I have just streamed from my phone? Of course I could, but I paid a lot for this streaming setup, so I'm gonna use it. Uh, we're gonna do a choose your own adventure game that I've had on my phone for literally years, and I have not played all of it. But they have one for, as you can see, they have wizards, they have rogues, they have a lot of rogue, they have demons and rangers and lots of stuff. And the crazy bit is, it's all telling the same story. The characters from one story will pop in and out of someone else's story, and it all affects the same world, and it is wild. And when I realized that, I really wanted to find a way to share it with you guys, and now here we go. This is that. That's what we're gonna do. So, I have not tried to keep up with these polls on Twitch before. Usually I'm running D&D, so my level of familiarity with the actual workings of Twitch while streaming is relatively low, but I'm going to try and make it fair to where everybody gets an opportunity to have a say in what we do. And like the old Choose Your Own Adventure books that I used to rent out from the library, borrow from the library, I never paid, I guess. I used to borrow from the library. You can absolutely die in these things. So, yeah. We might have to redo some choices now and again. Let's see. Hello, Eric. Hello, Sprinkle. Hello, Irish. And Timmy Mocha Cupcake. Hello. You using my little animated emote. Bless you. This is for Android. In fact, it's available on the Google Play Store. And I wanted to just play it on my computer, but it's actually exclusive to tablets and phones. So I can't just Google Play and download it to the PC, which is a shame because I would like to play this on my computer. Hey Dabs, how's it going, man? I realize I haven't hit record yet. Oh well, I'll get the VOD off Twitch later. Who else is out here tonight? We have Confused Mind. I've never... It's got to be confused, not confessed, right? Sophia is here. Olympian is here. Alexis is here. Thank you guys all for coming out and joining me on a Friday night. This is the week one, guys. This is where we get very personal because we're not overloaded with folks. Because lots of people have better things to do on a Friday night, but not me, and apparently not you, and I'm very grateful. Confused. I don't confess to anything, he says. Excellent. That's wise. Not until you get the chance to speak to your lawyer. Alright, so... tell me real quick how things are coming through. Things are a little bright right now because sunset is happening, but that should calm down in a second here. How's the audio coming through? Is the music too loud? Is it loud enough? I didn't want it to just be quiet while we talked. Break Rob for an hour a day. Oh, once this week was enough, but thank you. Whew. Alright, so the thing that I really want to share with you guys is the Rogue's Choice series. Because that is... Oh man, if I was going to run a solo D&D campaign, it would probably be very heavily based off of this. Because of how well they handle an individual adventuring and still having people to talk to and interact with. But the Rogue's Choice series references the Wizard's Choice series, and it references it a lot. So we're going to start with the Wizard's Choice series. I don't know how far we're going to get tonight. We're just gonna see how it goes. Hello, G-dubs. Hello, Nagi Sao, Nagi Sao Mamatone. I'm so sorry. But hello. Confused Mind, you can run a solo D&D campaign? You can. You have to change things. D&D is designed to challenge a group of players, and no individual class, well, almost no individual class is well suited for every challenge that they're going to come across. And it's not very entertaining to play in a vacuum, so lots of NPCs, smaller challenges, weaker foes, or lots of friends. I've only tried to do it a couple of times, and that was with my significant other at the time. That fell through just like the relationship did, so hopefully we'll get to try both of those again soon. Alright, we got a few people in here. Oh, quick thank yous. We need to thank Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., D-Law, Junger Roman, and Tenable Mink for following us. Welcome to the party, guys. Welcome to Misty Mountain Streaming. Here we like to tell and experience great stories, and our favorite way to do that is with Dungeons & Dragons. But when I'm sitting here by myself, this is the closest thing we got, and it is an incredible story. Let's see, Tenable Mink was over in Sheepy's stream last night? I think it was last night. My days run together. Hanging out, watching some art, talking about Sheepish Lamb's tarot deck. Oh, and awesome. Yes, if anybody has spare channel points laying around, it puts a limit on how many you can contribute to a goal in a single sitting. But we're working our way towards another custom magic item for the Monday Night crew over at Bleakhaven, A Broken Heart. Sorry, I started hearing something funny. I guess it's the music. Like a fire crackling sound? Just want to make sure nothing was on fire around me. But yeah, contribute to that. They're going to get we already succeeded in getting them one homebrew magic item. We're going to get that for them as soon as we get back into the story and when the story permits me to drop it into their lives. And we can go ahead and shoot for 2. Why not? Let's see. Do you know who suggested me for one of Sheepish's cards? Sheepish picked you herself, Irish. She thought you were worth making a card of. And she was very eager to finish, so she did not wait for every last card to be commissioned. But the people who did commission got a little, say-so sway in how they looked at the end of it all. Alright. We're 10 minutes into this. Let's start choosing our own adventures, shall we? We're going to start with Wizard's Choice number 1. So, in this one, obviously, we're playing the Wizard. And actually, if I just went ahead and started narrating, we'd all know that anyway. You are a young wizard, seeking treasure and glory. You are walking along a path in the forest, one day's journey from Ring City, your beloved home. Night has just fallen and you're thinking about how it might be a good idea to find a campsite. After all, you're in goblin territory. And it's dangerous to travel in the dark. Suddenly, you smell something awful. Reginald, are you responsible for that outrageous smell? You ask, the warrior striding ahead of you. You ask the warrior striding ahead of you. Pray, no. I am always downwind from my companions when I squeeze the bellows, Reginald answers. You realize that you have never encountered this stench before, and it is close. And perhaps it's your imagination, but is that muffled breathing you just heard? What do you do? Alright, guys, so we got our first question here. I'm just going to call our first poll, What Do? Hopefully that popped up somewhere. So, we can either shout a warning to Reginald, we can dive flat on our face, hide, or stop where we are and listen. Let's have this go for... I don't know. Where's my stopwatch? Let's have it go... I want to keep this going at a decent clip. So let's have this go for about a minute or so. Starting now. Here's my stopwatch. Rifle Stud is in the chat. Hello! What's up, nerd? Grimforge is here. How's it going, Peyton? There's a strange stink, and we don't know why, and we're trying to decide what to do about it. We got 40 seconds left on our poll to decide what you guys want to do. I've done many of these things before, and they were years ago, and I've forgotten the results of just about all of them. So I'm not going to have a vote. It's all up to you guys what we do. And if you want to sway your fellow voters, type your answer in the chat. If you want to have your answer selected, make sure and use the poll. It seems that shouting a warning is the most popular answer right now. Oh, 2 answers. Oh, more answers for stop and listen all of a sudden. The less vocal majority. Alright, guys, that's a little over our minute. So we're going to close the poll here. How do I close the poll? There we go. 67% of us said stop and listen, so that is what we're gonna do. Hey, Sarah, how are you? How's Hawaii? We unlocked an achievement! A clever move. Look at us with that squinty little fox. Wonderful. And thank you, Grim, for contributing to the Magic Item Challenge. So you notice we have some stats up at the top of the screen, by the way. Let's quickly go over those. There's life. That's our HP. Mana, which is going to be our ability to cast spells. We don't get that back very often. I'm going to go ahead and let y'all know. So we're going to use it in a way that will help us get to our goal, right? Like, to get us through whatever danger that we're in. But don't overuse it, because there will come a situation where you need it and you wish you had it. Right? Oh, I just noticed something here on the overlay. Y'all pardon me. That's going to bother me if I don't fix that. Just talk amongst yourselves. There we go. Okay. So, yes, that's what mana is. Gold is gold. If we're poor, and man, are we poor. This story kind of follows the idea, at least at the start, that adventurers are adventuring because they need money, like the good old former editions of D&D. And then we have morale, which is, how good we feel about stuff. For the most part, it is going to be kind of our score. It's how well we're doing. But it can be used for certain things. Anyway, because of our choice to stop and listen, our morale has increased, but our mana has gone down. No need to panic yet, you think. You grab Reginald by the shoulder and gesture for him to be quiet. The two of you stand motionless for a few long seconds before you hear a low wheezing sort of breathing. Reginald must have heard it too, because he raises his sword defensively. A series of snorts is followed by several goblins with green-tinted skin charging out of hiding towards you. With an arcane word and a flourish of one hand, you send a bolt of fire into the leader of the charge, who drops to the ground, thrashing in flames. Reginald hacks down another with his sword. The remaining three run away, whooping and yipping. Soon their cries are joined by others. From the dark forest all around you, many calls from far too many goblins to fight toe-to-toe. It is a hunting party, tracking wild game, I wager. Human is a delicacy much better than mutton, Reginald says. You regard the two dead goblins on the ground. Dead goblins are worth 10 gold pieces per head in the city. Luckily, you don't need to carry their heads around. The city authorities will accept their left ears. What do you do? Alright, guys. There's a bunch of goblins coming at us. We got two options. May I remind you, we are flat busted broke. But we can't spend money if we're dead. So, new poll has started. What do? Number 1 or number 2? Cut the ears off? Or just run? That's 20 gold laying on the ground there. To vote, make sure you use the poll at the top of the chat. We're going to start that timer. Oh, come on. Can you tell I never use the stopwatch on my watch? Now! Now! We do it now. 1 minute. South Park has forced me to dream of getting a Chi-Chi. Like the Chi-Chi from Dragon Ball? Oh, it's some kind of a drink. I haven't heard of that kind of drink. Dancer Hawk, good evening! We are doing a choose your own adventure, man. We got 30 seconds left on this choice. Do we risk our lives to get 20 gold by selling goblin ears, or do we run away with our hides and our poverty? Use the poll at the top of the chat to vote. I'll give you a few extra seconds since you just got here. Just remember, if you find a tiki talisman in a construction zone, don't keep it. Very good advice, Dabs. That is probably a reference to something I do not know, but I know something that probably references it. Because that happened in one of the seasons of Total Drama Island! Actually, I think that was the Total Drama Action season. I got really into that show once upon a time. Only thing better than reality is TV is fake reality TV. Alright, guys, that's going to be it. Let's see. What do? Everybody wants to cut the ears off. Well, I guess I know what we're doing. You money-grubbing people, you. Alright, we're going to cut the ears off. Get the ears! Get the ears! You exclaim as you pull out your razor-sharp dagger from your belt. For a second, your sometimes slow-witted warrior sidekick doesn't understand, but as you start sawing away at the first ear, he gets the idea and soon fishes out his own dagger. Soon you have a bloody goblin ear stuffed in your pocket, and Reginald has one of his own. Nasty? Very. However, 10 gold pieces are nearly 6 months of wages to a common laborer, so you're willing to take the hit. That is not D&D conversion rate for 5e, but yeah, that was a good call in this world, what you guys just said. What's now? Reginald asks. Certainly there are excellent places to hide in the forest, if we can just make it till morning. True, the goblins may have dogs, and their own sense of smell is keen. Ah, and the goblins' own sense of smell. Sorry. You say. We might climb a tree, then. That would at least be defensible, Reginald suggests. You wish to be treed like a fox, with goblins barking underneath. If you wish a position that is both defensible and allows some freedom of movement, we should hasten to Castle Inverness. It is near, and we could fortify ourselves behind those walls, Reginald says. You frown. It is a fortress, yes, but inhabited by what? Gods know what manner of creatures may have taken up residence in that ruin over the years. And it's time for another What Do poll, my friends. We're going to open that up in just a second. Options 1, 2, and 3, starting now. Option 1, hide in the forest, like Reginald suggests. Garrison in the ruined walls, also like Reginald suggests. Or climb a large tree, also like Reginald suggests. We're not contributing anything to this conversation, guys. We are simply shooting down and putting holes in Reginald's ideas. We're awesome. Alright, 1 minute, go! Hide in the forest with the goblins. We are a human, by the way. Do we have dark vision? No, we do not. Do we know the light cantrip? I don't remember. You're talking about Brady Bunch. Oh, man, I do not know that reference. Ooh. Does anybody else just want Rog to do an audiobook so we can listen to it all the time? Hey, I don't have an audiobook, but I have a podcast. Is that good enough? I guess I don't do a lot of voices in the podcast, only the intros. 10 seconds, guys. What do? Ooh, a lot of love for climbing a large tree. It's close, though. Climb a large tree it is. Maybe I should start voting. I don't know. Nah, I can play this anytime I want to. Alright. Climb a large tree it is. Let's find a tall tree and climb high into the branches. It will be a trifle to kill them if they try to climb after us, you say. It doesn't take you long to find a suitable tree. The first branches are high enough to be out of reach of the goblins, but low enough for the two of you to jump up and grasp. By the time the goblins show up, their glowing eyes glaring, the two of you are high in the branches. Reginald fires several shots from his bow, but only manages to hit one. It is a difficult shot, with only the eyes providing a target and the branches below providing the creatures with cover. Undeterred by Reginald's ineffective fire, the goblins are busy at some scheme as they make trips back and forth from your tree and the surrounding forest. It is only when you see the flames that you realize what they've been up to. Neville scat! Reginald curses. They set to burn us! Now what? You ask. There's a spell you can cast that will turn their fire into a blazing light. Perhaps such a light would blind these nocturnal creatures. Or you could elect for the direct approach, fight fire with fire, and simply blast them with a fire spell. Finally, you could just allow Reginald to use his bow. Now that the fire has started down there, he can see them much better. If he can force them to retreat, you could escape. Alright guys, options 1, 2, and 3. Notice we're into resource management now. 2 of those options will spend some of our mana. We might need it later, we might not. If we're using a mana option, it's best to be frugal, but it's even better to not die or lose health. So, starting now. poll at the top of the screen. What do? 1. Let Reginald handle it. 2. Blind them. Or 4. Blast them. The Bradys went on vacation to Hawaii, and Bobby and Peter found a tiki idol in a work zone near the hotel and kept it. The whole family then was plagued with bad luck. I have seen a lot of things referencing that without knowing it was the Brady Bunch. Was that the OG, or were they referencing something? They gonna be AFK for a bit. Wife's former housemate brought us fried chicken? Bro! Hey, I'd take fried chicken over a stream any day. Stream's gonna be coming back 3 times a week. Fried chicken is temporary. Alright, how's this poll doing? A lot of support for trying to blind them. And that's it. So blind them is what we shall do. Alright, those little words at the top of the screen there, where the morale increases, means it was probably a good choice. Shut your eyes, you shout to Reginald as you push your hand over his face. The fire brightens into a terrific flash as your spell takes effect. The goblins nearby scream as they stagger about, blinded. The 2 of you waste no time in climbing down and leaping off to the side of the fire. You meet no resistance from the goblins so far, and you are tempted to kill some of them for their ears. However, you decide not to push your luck. The fire has died down, and there are many more goblins in the forest. The 2 of you run from the tree back to the trail. You decide the castle is your best defense. Stone does not burn, you think to yourself. The 2 of you dash up to a fork in the road. The path to the right is barely visible anymore, as it is so overgrown. Reginald believes that it leads to the castle ruins. The path to the left is clear, and you think you see fire down that way. Could it be the goblins? Or is it perhaps something good, like the campfire of another friendly adventuring party? What do you do? Alright, our 2 options this time, guys. Shiny fire, must investigate. Or, I said, go to the castle. Have fun storming the castle. So, as you can tell, the narrative goes to the castle. So, we could have gone to the castle a little earlier. Whether we would do that safely or not, whether we did that with a little more mana, whether we did that with a little less morale, So, we're earning points and spending resources, and we will see how that pays off for us. So, let's start that new poll. What do? Shiny fire, or go to the castle? Haha, Irish Mac knows what I'm talking about. I'm going to give you guys just a little bit longer on this one. I'm going to brew myself another cup of coffee. And whenever I come back with a cup of coffee is when this poll is over. Okay. Trying to get a snack for myself, and I absolutely gave myself the hiccups trying to scarf it down quickly, so if I am hiccuping, now you know why. Let's see. Rob's gone riot. Let's see. Fire self-preservation game. Irish, that's cruel. How dare you? His chair shadow looks like his shadow with his hair. Guys, I've been replaced by my own chair. How about that? Alright. Let's end this poll. Oh, there was a big majority on this one. Everybody. Almost everybody says Shiny Fire must investigate. Let's see how that works out for us, shall we? Hey, that's a recognizable young man. Boldly you step forth, never a wuss. I'm an adventurer, damn it. Alright. Life decreases by 1. That is not encouraging. That is less than encouraging. Hello, Project Mira. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to our party. We are doing a little choose your own adventure. And I am narrating. We decided otherwise. That was a heavy vote for 2. You sure? What was it? Hang on. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hang on. You know what I did? When I look at the results, it reordered it. Here you go. I'm going to spend one of my luck points, and we're going to redo the last choice, do the way that we said. Go to the castle was the vote. My bad. There we are. And it was the correct choice, and we see our morale has increased. My apologies, guys. This is my first time doing polls. Enough foolishness! To Castle Inverness and her blessed walls! You proclaim. Reginald raises his fist. Yes! May their puny bodies break against our stone defenses! After a minute of stumbling down what is best described as a game trail, you see the shadowy husk of the ruin in the moonlight ahead. Unfortunately, the battle cries of your pursuers are closer than ever, and when you look back over your shoulder, you see glowing eyes. The two of you turn on a burst of speed, and soon the outer wall of the castle looms before you. It is about 10 feet high and crumbling. You realize with horror that there are no holes on this side that are large enough to fit through. Meanwhile, Reginald, a faster runner than yourself, has disappeared around the north corner of the wall. A short spear whistles past your head. You look back and see at least 4 of the little beasts. What do you do? Alright, here we go again, guys. New poll. Once again, what do? Option 1, follow Reginald. Option 2, jump the wall spell. Cast the spell, jump, and jump the wall. Or, turn and blast them, using up a good portion of our mana. And I'll pay closer attention to what we answer this time. And go! Yeah, I'm trying the poll thing, Mira. It's a first for me. Normally, we just play D&D on here, and I can set things the way I want them before the stream and just let it go. So, this is high management for me this time. And trying to figure out how to get a phone app onto my computer screen was an hour of work today. I haven't heard of Wolves on the West Wind, though. I thought you were standing on the other side of the desk, and then I realized it was your chair. That's rude, Peyton. Come on. I'm not a chair. Ooh, someone's saying jump wall. Let's see. Just a few more seconds. A lot of people saying jump. Yeah, I don't think that decision's going to get overturned. Let's go ahead and close it. Jump wall is the decision. Alright, 9 mana, guys, for the rest of the chapter. Let's see how this goes. You stay on your course towards the wall, and with an arcane word, you leap into the air. Up, up, over you go, like a giant grasshopper over the top. You've made it. But now you're falling. Down, down into the castle courtyard. You hit the ground hard, but you roll with it. Fortunately, the neglected courtyard grass is nearly as tall as you are, and acts as a cushion. That's some tall-ass grass. I'm assuming we're, statuesque. There's a ladder nearby that you climb to get up to the battlements. There are 4 goblins at the base of the wall, chattering angrily. One of them begins climbing up the rotten rock. You decide this is as good a place. You decide this is a good place to take a stand. There's a lot of loose rock at the top of the wall. You're not particularly strong, thanks to your inactive life as a wizard. However, you expect you could push a few large rocks down upon this climber. On the other hand, they are all out in the open, and your spells would certainly be effective now. What do you do? Another poll, guys. What do 1, 2, or 3? Options this time are push rocks down on the climber, just fry the climber, I'm imagining firebolt, or fry them all, burning hands, fireball, something of that nature. If anything, Rob is a table because he's got them schmacky legs. Ugh. Let's see. You mean leads? Hey. Schmexy is not the word I'd use. Let's see. This story is pretty mana hungry. Well, what they're trying to do is what any good dungeon master would do and deplete your resources before you need them. It's alright, though. The main thing that mana is good for is defeating enemies and saving you health. We may have used some mana, but we've got all our health. The bright white. Yes, I'm sure I just ruined my white balance on my screen. Condor Guys for A. I like that little comic. I know the one you're referencing. Alright, what are we doing here? Oh, it's a 50-50 split. Someone that hasn't voted is going to have to come in here and break this tie. If you're just watching along and haven't voted in the poll, now is the time. Note Grim's vote. Is Grim not able to do the polls? Oh, can't click. Okay. Oh, 3 more people voted, though. And now, push rocks down on the climber is the highest one. You're using your vote on Grimm's behalf. Thank you, Iris. That is kind of you. Alright, yep. Push rocks down, just shot into the lead. Let's have that be our choice. Got medieval on him! The technology you used was primitive and your actions weren't pretty or subtle, but you can't argue with the results. Alright. Well, that seemed to work. Hey, we're smart, we're a wizard, we're intelligent. We don't need to use our mana all the time. We can sometimes problem solve, baby. Absolutely. Why waste your magical energy, mana, when instead you can use the time-honored trick of hurling rocks down upon your enemy? Very medieval of you. Sure enough, there are some large loose stones nearby, which you push down upon the climbing attacker. The first one misses. but he looks up just in time to get a melon-sized rock right to the face, making a watery, crunching sound. He falls back down onto the earth where he lies motionless. The other three look up, scream in rage, and back off. Suddenly you feel the battlement boards below you shake to the unmistakable rhythm of footfalls. Gods, they got behind me, you think. Charging along the one-way... Ooh. What was that sound? Something just came through the ears. I don't know what that was. Sorry. Charging along the runway is the shadow of a tall, lanky man carrying something. A bow. Reginald! You sigh in relief. He must have found another way in. Reginald leans over the wall and, seemingly without even aiming, lets loose an arrow. One of the little devils below falls to the ground, squirming with an arrow in its chest. The others scatter back towards the forest. With their eyes turned away, they make difficult targets in the scant moonlight. Nevertheless, your friend takes one more down before the rest make the safety of the woods. We have struck terror into that advance party, but they will call for reinforcements. We have the wall. Can we hold it? Reginald asks. We could go in. You point to the castle heap beyond the courtyard. The castle is 3 stories tall, or at least it had been, before the top layer partially collapsed. The second story is barely any better. The forest is as lifeless and still as a painting. Still, you wonder if anyone is looking back at you from the dark windows and arrow slits of the ruin. What do you suggest? New poll, guys. What do? 1 or 2? 1 says we're going to make our stand here with Reginald. 2 says, let's go ahead and get in that there castle, boys. Let's go ahead and start the clock. Yeah. 1 minute to make your wishes known. Do-do-do-do. Guys, we are in a stressful situation, and I shouldn't be laughing. What is your stressful situation? The car rental place? I guess that can be pretty stressful. I don't usually have to do that. Not your fault. You're the one who can't keep Rob's legs out of your mind. I can't keep my legs out of my pants. Oh, yes, I can. Anyway, never mind. Imagine if D&D used a mana system, you'd roll HP each level up. You'd roll like HP each level up. There are systems that kinda do that. D&D has eschewed it, though. You don't need to clip my cap, Irish. It wouldn't last long. I can also go in and, delete what clips other people have made. A power I don't often use. We want those walls for protection, and that castle was our goal in the first place. Sound argument. Can't have unknown behind, gonna get pincered. Ooh, also a strong argument. Let's call it there. That was a little more than a minute while I caught up on the chat. How are we doing? It's a 50-50 split again! Alright, next number I see is the one we're gonna do. Either that or I can roll a die. If you guys stay split, I'll just roll a die. Sarah voted 2. Enter the castle now. Alright. Let's do that. Let's enter the castle now, and you know what? If we get pincered, Grim, you can have smug satisfaction knowing you were right all along. Enter the castle now. Two are not enough to defend all 4 walls. Away, to the keep, you shout. You run across the courtyard and open the large wooden double doors, which shriek on rusty hinges. Unlocked? This may be a trap, my friend. We'd best be on our guard, Reginald says. Once inside, Reginald slams and bars the doors. The entrance chamber is large with a high vaulted ceiling. The stone walls are cracked and flaking. The ground is strewn with loose rubble. The air is stale. Aside from the double doors behind you, there are closed wooden doors on the north, east, and west walls. Near the north door there is a stairway going up, but it is blocked by rubble. It is not long before the front doors begin to rattle violently. Through a nearby arrow slit, you can see glowing eyes and the glint of axes chopping away at the door. You're not sure how long the barred portal will hold them. Reginald wants to hide deeper in the castle. On the other hand, this place smells of death. It might be prudent to take a few seconds to investigate the room and doors. What do you do? Ooh. Another one, guys, with only 2 options. Option 1, book it deeper into the castle. Option 2, have a look around. See what we find. Might be useful. Might get us killed. Dollar says there's magic items in here somewhere. Grim seems to be feeling room and doors. Ooh, that's so far no one wants to rush things. It is so far a unanimous vote for looking around. It's like you guys played D&D before. Search everything. Who cares? It's just an encounter. Reginald might die, but he was just a meat shield anyway. But yes, this is the grab an item chance. All right. Let's see if the, let's go ahead and call it then, since it's 6 people voting for number 2. Let's see if the authors of this adventure think like you do. You motion to Reginald to check the east door. You inspect the ground and see that there's been some traffic through here. Some of the tracks on the dusty floor appear to be human-sized shoes or boots, while others appear to be from bare feet, far too large to be from men. None of the tracks appear to belong to goblins. Listening, you can't hear anything over the goblins thumping and screaming outside. You direct the light of your lantern at the northern door. Guys, we have a lantern. That hasn't come up before. You direct the light of your lantern at the northern door and are about to turn towards the eastern door when something catches your attention. Was that an eye, you wonder? You think you caught a glimpse of a glistening eyeball through a rotting hole in the northern door. Casually, as though just taking another look around, you sweep your lantern light over the door again, pausing for just an instant at that spot. Yes, that was an eye. You're being watched, and although your glimpse of it was fleeting, you could tell the eye did not belong to a human. The white of the orb is pink with blood, while the retina is pitch black and large. You would like to get a better look at the creature. There's a minor spell you normally use to magically open doors from a distance. You find it tedious opening doors yourself. As long as the door is unlocked, you could use this lazy wizard spell to open the eye door without being too close. On the other hand, you may frighten or anger whoever that eye belongs to. Perhaps you should just talk to it. Maybe you can join forces against the goblins. Alternatively, you might be able to hurl a bolt of fire through that eye hole. Not an easy shot, but you have the element of surprise. Finally, there's the running option. A choice that has been keeping wizards alive for thousands of years. We got lots of options now, guys. Lots of things to answer the question, what do? I'm going to give y'all a little bit longer for this one. Let's say 2 minutes, so y'all can kind of discuss with yourselves. Starting now. Open the door. from afar with your mana, shoot the eye hole, talk to it, the diplomatic approach, or run. Always effective. Ooh, a work campaign, Dabs? Nice. I like those. It's great to have a captive audience and the ability to talk about D&D while you're being paid by the hour. Project Mira says, shoot the eye hole. We want that path free. Shoot the eyeball. Talk to it. It hasn't been aggressive. Maybe it'll help kill goblins, says Grim. Is there the assumption that the creature understands common? Apparently, that is an assumption that we might be making if we try and talk to it. I dropped the die. About 30 more seconds while I go and get this changed on Twitch here. How are things going at the moment? Ooh, a lot of people are saying talk. Aren't you guys friendly? Actually, more people have voted. Are more people watching now, or do I just always need to give you all 2 minutes to make your minds up? Let's call it there. We're going to be trying to talk to this thing. I'm going to say goodbye. I want to immerse myself. Love you all. Thanks, Sarah. Hey, the VOD will be up if you care to do this, or if you have an Android, you can download this app. Let me see here. I think it's just called D&D Style Choice app, something. It's got that symbol at the top. That's what you're looking for if you want to download this game yourself. I should have looked that up beforehand, but it's so generic a name. Alright. Talk to the creature. Another achievement! We're a diplomat. Just talking can often get you what you want. Language. Even a greater invention than fire, maybe? Earned us some luck. You muster your courage. Face the door and raise your voice to be heard over the pounding and shouting of the goblins. We mean you no harm. We only wish to... Crack! The door explodes open. The light of your lantern streams into the doorway to reveal a huge, muscled monster stooping over. He holds a massive, spiked club in one hand and a melon-sized rock in the other. And it's the second time they have used the phrase melon-sized rock. I just want to point that out there. He steps into the room. Neville's tongue! It's an ogre! Reginald curses. Greetings, you say, mustering your most cheerful smile. The yonder goblins are disrespecting your property. Let us join forces against them. Just then, the front doors of the castle burst open. Like a tidal wave crashing on the beach, a heap of goblins falls into the room, creatures one on top of another. A chorus of glee erupts from their fanged mouths. The ogre hurls his stone straight at you. You duck and hear a squishy thud behind you. Well, your diplomacy may not have exactly worked, but now there might be an opportunity. Time to let the ogre and the goblins become acquainted. Without you. Reginald and you nearly collide in your haste through the eastern portal. Once through, you slam the door closed. From the entrance chamber you just left come goblin yips of triumph, which then turn into screams of terror that are immediately drowned out by an earth-shaking snarl. Next is the sharp slapping of flesh against flesh, and the wet sound of bodies ripping apart. You run from one room to the next. The ogre is not much of a housekeeper. The castle is full of giant cobwebs and broken furniture. Finally, you enter a larger room, a dining room, as evidenced by a long wooden table and 2 fireplaces. You motion Reginald to stop, and you both listen. Faintly, you can hear the far-off sounds of battle from behind you. Can't leave that way, you think. Just then you hear something else. Labored breathing. And... is that crying? Alright. What do, guys? We can either investigate this new sound, or hightail it. What do options 1 and 2? Here we go. I recommend Steve Jackson's Sorcery. If one's gorgeous art and a strong story. Rob should get it for Steam. Hey, Vile, how's it going, my friend? We're doing a choose your own adventure. There's a poll at the top of the chat. Use that to help us decide what we're going to do. See, don't do the crying. Wait, what? We're in a dark castle all alone with Reginald. Surely it's probably a good thing to hear crying, right? Maybe someone needs our help. Or maybe it's a ghost. What's gonna do a stab on us? Oh, y'all some curious assholes. Everyone wants to investigate. Ooh. Project Mira says 1. Eric is liking the idea. Peyton, that practicality is going to serve you well when we play together, my man. But for now, I think you are soundly outvoted. Eric notes, ghost? Alright. Pull over, guys. We're investigating that sound. For glory and the loot, you think to yourself as you take the lead. This would be a witch from Left 4 Dead. You're not wrong. Hey, and here's what we've got. You quickly realize that the sound seems to be coming from this very room. You creep over to the other end of the dining hall and see a young woman sitting on the ground, chained to a fireplace, rocking back and forth, sobbing. Her cries break off, and she looks up at you with an expression of fear that quickly turns to surprise. Who are you? She asks. You tell her your names, and that you are here to smite evil while making your fortunes. This brings a smile to her face, a pretty smile, you suspect, although it's hard to tell under all the dirt smudged on her face. She gives her name as Sheba. Sheba? I'm gonna go Sheba until someone corrects me. Someone Google it. Cibah. And says that there is a key to her chains on the table. Sure enough, beside cracked and dusty china is a small brass key. As you set about unlocking her, she tells you that she is a merchant's daughter, who was traveling with her father's trade caravan when it was attacked by a mighty ogre, with a small band of priests of an evil god, wearing dark cloaks. Those of her party not killed in the initial attack were taken prisoner and chained up in this room. One by one, they were taken away by the priests, never to return. They took my father. Sheba sniffs. No doubt he is slain, but I must try to find him. Will you help me? You ask her if she has any idea where her father and the others might be, but she knows little of the rest of the castle. It is pronounced... I'd pronounce it Kiva. That is an interesting take, Dabs. Reginald takes you aside and says, "Ought we to take her to safety and then look for her father on our own? She will be in danger traveling with us." You agree that having some half-starved, unarmed merchant's daughter tripping along behind you will only get her killed. That sounds like an escort mission. But where is safety? Last time you checked, the courtyard was crawling with goblins, and according to her, the castle residents are not very good hosts. What do you do? Ooh, 4 options, guys. Let's see. What do... This is a complicated choice. I'm going to give you all 2 minutes on this one again. Option 1. Escort her out. Go ahead and get her to safety. Worry about what you have before worrying about anything else. Option 2. Hide her and move on. Get her to some slightly more protected place. Send her on her way. Make her not your problem anymore. Let her fend for herself. Or chain her back up for now. Let no one know that anything is different out this way. Dungeon in a Box, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to our party. We're doing a choose your own adventure tonight. If you want to have a vote in what's going on, there's a poll above the chat that you can use to cast a vote. Right now, we are a wizard traveling with our fighter friend Reginald. We are exploring a castle that is full of goblins, ogres, and some priests to a dark god that we have not yet met. And we've just found a young merchant's daughter being held prisoner. We need to decide what to do with her. Some strong support for going ahead and escorting her out so far. Is that the best choice, though? It's pretty strong for number 1. I think that's what we're gonna do, guys. We're gonna try and get her out of here. Let's hope that works out. Manners matter. Your mother taught you well. Don't you talk about my mother. I'll pronounce it Dabs' way to make you happy, buddy. If someone figures out how to actually pronounce it, let me know. Kiba seems like a nice enough young woman, but as a merchant's daughter, she is not a very good addition to your adventuring party, and so you are eager to escort her out of the castle as quickly as possible. Between Reginald's clinking chainmail armor and Kiba's incessant sniffling and muttering about her father, the 3 of you are not the stealthy party you wish to be. After some searching, you find a hole in the wall of the castle large enough to fit a human through. Reginald gives you a boost up to the hole and you look out. Neville's tongue, you curse in your head. Glowing eyes dot the courtyard outside. You get down and tell the others the bad news. Ow! Guys, we're dying! Everyone is 6th for help. As you're describing what you saw, there's a sudden jolt of numbing cold in your back. You cry out in pain and turn to see a cloaked man barely visible in the light cast by the shuttered lantern in his hand. He is pointing at you with his other hand. Perhaps this is one of the evil priests Kiva spoke of. As you slump back against the wall, Kiva cowers in the corner. Reginald unsheathes his sword and charges. The cloaked man runs. By the time you recover from the pain and stand up, Reginald is walking briskly back to the chamber. That sneaky devil eluded me, he says, and then curses. I would bet my last copper that he's off gathering allies to come back for us. We must move on, you say. As you hasten away from that wing of the ruin, the three of you agree. Kiva should hide for now. There are a ton of hiding places in this ruin, and you find a nice pile of rubble for her to hide behind several rooms away. Stay still and quiet here. We will return. Well, if we do not return by morning, escape as best you can. You instruct her. Clever, Reginald says as you leave her. If her abductors find her missing, they will not expect her to remain in the castle. With luck, they will leave the castle altogether to search. And we can explore unhindered, you say with a smile. The castle is quiet and dark. You walk into a wide hallway that branches in two directions. One direction is covered in a thick layer of dust, while the other is covered in footprints. You decide that it would be wise to get a lay of the land before looking for any trouble. Despite the faint smell of rotting flesh from the dusty hall, you decide it would be wise to go this way first. Less monsters, more treasure. Or at least you hope. You have kept your lantern hooded, allowing only slivers of light out. After all, you want to remain stealthy. The way is dim, however, and you find yourself tripping over rubble and the odd piece of furniture. Ahead, there is the stench of rot, making you wonder if there might be something terrible hidden in the shadows. Too bad you can't see in the dark like a goblin. What do you do? Oh, I made a whole video, guys, about how important vision is in D&D and associated things. But being stealthy is also important. This place is crawling with baddies, so I leave it to you. What do? If you want us to keep the lantern hooded as we explore, that's option 1 in the poll above the chat. Option 2 will have us light this place up. TD Pod, Sa, my friend. Welcome to the party this Friday evening. We're doing a choose your own adventure. We've lost some health, we've cast some spells, we met a girl, we hid the girl behind some rubble, we thought that our fighter friend farted. It's been an evening. Let's do about 25 more seconds on this one. What's everyone feeling? Ooh, everyone's like, no light for me, thanks. I like life. Oh, shit! Hey, Project Mira, you are the beneficiary of an anonymous gifter giving out a sub to our community. Whoever you are, thank you very much, and Project Mira, congrats on not having to sit through ads anymore and to get some of our little emotes of me making various faces. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, whoever you are. Alright. Oh, well, Unhood the Lantern finally got a vote, but it's a pretty decisive. We're going to keep that lantern hooded for now. Don't worry, we can always unhood it later. Ooh, I see that red text. Sneaky. Nasty, tricksy, player reader. Preader. You take it slow in the dark. Still, you stumble a few times, but at least you're not shining like a lighthouse to all your enemies. Soon the cobwebs thicken. And thicken. And what's this? You find yourself stuck to one particularly thick strand of web. As you take the hood off your lantern to better appraise the situation, something heavy lands on your shoulders. Spider! Reginald yells. His sword is out, and he swings it down hard on top of you. Presently, your back is covered with greenish, oozing spider blood. The monstrously large spider is black, with long, matted fur. It now lies motionless on the floor. Reginald unhoods his lantern and plays the light on the ceiling above. There are no more spiders, just thick webs dotted with small, silky cocoons that you suspect might encase rats or other small prey. Now that the immediate crisis is over, you notice you're in pain. Reginald, who has never been a lover of spiders, cut your shoulder in his zeal to kill the thing. You don't hold it against him. He meant well, and it is far better to get a gouge from a sword than an injection of venom from something like that. Reginald does his best to bandage you up, and then you proceed down the hall. Your lanterns are no longer hooded, however. You want to get a better look around, and you pay particular attention to the ceiling. Eventually, the two of you make your way to a spiral staircase going up. The upper regions of foul places like this are safer than the lower levels, says Reginald. Why in Neville's tongue would that be? You say. Reginald shrugs. Do not ask me what is in the mind of fiends and evil-hearted beasts. Perhaps they prefer the darkness and stagnant air below ground. You look up the stairway and sigh. Well, perhaps we can get a view of the courtyard and the goblins from up there. Reginald leads the way up the stairs, which lead into a small tower. Moonlight filters in through two windows. This room is finely furnished, and otherwise much more nicely kept than the rest of the castle you've visited so far. There is a small bed, still made, on one end, an ornate table and a bookshelf. On the table is an open fairy tale book, and a gold-embossed hand mirror. Seeing the loot, you forget about the windows and the potential view of the courtyard. You pick up the mirror to inspect it. Strange, says Reginald. There's no dust up here. Do you feel a draft? We are in a ruin, you say. Of course there's a draft. The glass in the windows are still intact, mutters Reginald. Gazing at your reflection in the mirror, you decide you look pretty good, all things considered. You brush cobwebs away from your wavy brown hair. You smile. You're happy to see that your teeth are looking particularly good. Of course, you deserve nice teeth, since unlike most people you know, you take care of them. Every morning, you wipe your teeth with a cloth dipped into a cleaning concoction consisting of vinegar, salt, and a little sand, and a small measure of your own urine. We're just gonna move on. You were about to pull yourself away from the mirror and put it in your backpack, when you glimpse a translucent skull with thin, wispy hair just behind you in the reflection. You spin around and see not a skull, but a young girl, floating a few feet in the air, her pale face fixed on you. Reginald sees her too, as evidenced by him running down the stairway. How dare you touch what is mine? The ghostly girl shouts. You back up and reflexively put the mirror back on the table. You have heard tales of powerful ghosts that can suck the life right out of you and wonder if this girl is one of those. What do you do? Ooh, Obi-Wan Jacoby. Bart, you came in just for the urine bit, huh? We're exploring a castle and we just met a ghost girl. Welcome to the chat, by the way. First time chat from Obi-Wan Jacoby. I love the screen name. Alright. Let's get the poll going here. What do? You've been lurking, but the urine got me to talk. Hey, the urine broke my concentration a little bit too there, you know? New poll, guys. 1, 2, and 3. Number 1, we hightail it. Number 2, protection from evil spell. Number 3, the diplomatic approach. Say we're sorry. Let's start that timer. Let's do a minute and a half. We got 3. Oh, that'll just be my policy in the future. We get 30 seconds per option. Let's see who else might be lurking. Ooh. Rifle Stud still lurking. Vile's still lurking. Maddie and Son? Kitty Cat? Hey, Icy is here! Hi, Icy. Still got a minute to go. What's everybody feeling? Ooh, no one wants to run. We're gonna deal with this situation, but the question is, do we cast a spell? Or do we use our words? Do we use magic words or magic words? You've been lurking the whole time? Well, I'm glad you've been lurking the whole time, hon. Got about another 20 seconds. Ooh, protection from evil spell got a slight edge. Shit. Mira, you are up late. Buddies, sleep is good. I'm glad. I'm flattered that you are spending what should be sleep time with us. Alright, that's going to do it, guys. And at the top right now is casting the Protection from Evil spell, so that's what we're going to do. You mutter an arcane phrase and cross yourself. A faint shell. There's just been a lot of smells in this story so far, guys. A faint shell materializes around you. You are one of them! The apparition wails. The small bed shoots across the room towards you. Your protection spell might repel ghosts, but it does not stop physical objects hurled by them. You jump just in time to avoid getting your legs smashed against the wall. You land on top of the bed. Pardon me. Without a moment to lose, you leap off and bound down the stairway. There's a wailing and crashing above, but unfortunately, the ghost does not follow beyond her room. You immediately find Reginald, for he had not strayed far. One sec. Well, I'm dying. He begins asking you questions, but you put your hand up. Another time, you say. Hey, checkpoint! I have already rated you. Why do you bother me? Good job, guys. The chapters for Wizards Choice are a little longer than for some of their other publications. So, we're doing good. We're getting there. Sorry that my hiccups are back. Part 2, indeed. The two of you continue through the castle. Occasionally you hear distant things. A shout, a crash, even voices. Soon you come to a door with light streaming through its cracks. You open the door ever so slightly and peek in. You see a cloaked man frantically pacing back and forth, a torch in his hand. His cloak is open, revealing a muscled frame, inked with tattoos. You think you make out at least one of the tattoos to be the symbol of Nerul, goddess of the undead. This reminds you of the tattooed body of a man hung in the city square only a month ago. He was believed to be an evil priest of Nerul, and was accused of terrible crimes, including raising zombies. Focusing on the rest of the room, your fear is quickly confirmed. There's a large stone symbol of Nerul built into the wall. The stonework appears to be of new construction. In addition, there's a luxurious curtain adorning the wall, as well as a number of simple beds. Did y'all enjoy the art before we scroll past it? Look at them abs. Priests of Nerul are not fools, and are able to harvest power from their deity to cast dangerous spells. However, You have the element of surprise, and there's only one of them. Oh, new poll, guys. What? Do. Options 1, 2, whoop, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Option 1. Attack with spells. It does not qualify what spells this time. Why should it? You can attack without spells. You do have a dagger at the very least. Cast a charm spell on him. Or just spy for a bit. See what's going on. Listen to what's being said. And potentially you lose the element of surprise. Decision time starts now. I'll have to check out who did all the artwork for this. They seem to have some talent, my friend. I would kind of be curious to know myself. Oh, I mean, look at that. It's got snakes biting down on that skull. It's cool. It's very cool. Yeah, they did. It did make a good point of mentioning how fit this guy was. Seduction may be the answer. Maybe instead of focusing on our differences, we should focus on what we have in common. Mira says, end it with magic. Ah, there's a good bit of support for end it with magic. Yep, many beds. He's not working alone. Necromancer will probably be immune to puny charms. That is a fair concern. Alright, we're hitting that 1:30 mark, and it is pretty decidedly in the attacking with spells category. So we're going to go ahead and end it there, and that's what we're going to do. See if we know any spells that aren't fire or light-based. You nod to Reginald, and the two of you burst into the room. Your quarry appears young, although his face is scarred. He looks at you with the expression of a man who is presently soiling himself. He ducks back as Reginald swings his sword, but not fast enough. The blade slashes his shoulder. He tries to run while chanting something, likely a prayer to his foul god. You strike him in the back with a bolt of flame that engulfs his cloak in fire. He screams and thrashes just before Reginald cuts him down with one great cleave. Perhaps now that I reflect upon this, we should have tried to keep him alive. We still don't know we still know not the fate of the rest of the caravan, you say with a frown. In battle there is no time for regret, and not a scratch on us this time. I call that a victory, declares Reginald. Let's see, this is following D&D-ish rules, yes. And people who made this are clearly a fan. Now that you are in the room, you can see that you're in living quarters. There are simple beds along the wall and a good-sized chest in the corner. Treasure, you think, as you run over and try to lift the lid. Locked. That Nerulian priest did not die quietly, so perhaps you should have Reginald smash the lid with his sword and then get out of here. On the other hand, there ought to be a key around somewhere. Maybe you should take a few seconds to check. What do you do? What do, my friends? Are we lootin' or we scootin'? The old looter scoot. Should be pretty binary here, so we're just gonna do a 1-minute timer on this one. New poll at the top. I'm with Reginald, says Project Mira. About this being a victory? I think so. Ooh. I'm seeing scooting. I'm seeing searching. Oh, if you haven't voted yet, guys, your votes may be the ones deciding it. Halfway through our time. When there's only 2 options, it gets so divisive in the chat. Irish, play nice. Okay. Looks like we're gonna have a look around. I guess it worked out last time. Search around a bit, it is. You stand guard while I search, you say to Reginald. You kick the body of the priest over. The corpse is a bloody mess, but you don't have time to be dainty about it. The man is nude, other than the cloak and a golden amulet around his neck. The amulet is an unholy symbol of Nerul, the goddess of the undead. You would never keep such an evil thing, but it's coated in gold, so you could have it melted down. You rummage through his sticky cloak. Sure enough, you find a key. You trot over to the chest, key in hand. The key has the same hue of metal as the lock, and you are optimistic that it will fit. You are fumbling with the key when you hear something off in the distance, and a chill goes down your spine. Are more coming? Did they hear the priest cry out? Normally you are cautious with chests, having heard they are sometimes trapped. However, searching the chest for traps will take time, and you're not particularly skilled in trap detection. What do you do? Another binary choice, guys. Searching around, that got us a payday. 40 gold. We are rich people, and they were saying 6 gold was what, 3 months' work? No, 10 gold was 3 months' work. Is that right? Something. Gold is a lot, and we've got some now. We've got quite a lot now. New poll coming up here. We can either search the chest for traps, we can be careful, diligent, rogue-like individuals, or we can be fortunate, careless, and trust the fact that we've got the actual key, and maybe that will save our butts. I guess it's our stream now. I'm banned? Why am I banned? Dang it. I'll have to unban myself later. Let that go for another 30 seconds here. What's everybody feeling? Using the key as in a strong lead. Actually, you know what? Based on how many people have been voting, this is pretty much everybody that has been. So I think it's pretty handily decided that we are going to be using that key. So in the interest of time and making sure we make it through the chapter, I'm going to go ahead and call it. Use key! What kind of booby trap is going to spring on someone with the proper key? You think to yourself. You carefully insert the key into the lock. It's a fit. You close your eyes as you turn the key. The top of the chest pops open as though on a spring, and nothing happens. You exhale in relief. Inside is a bag full of gold pieces, some platinum-engraved china, and a small black-bound writing book. You gather up your loot and hurry out of the room. The two of you have only taken steps into the dark hallway when you see flickering light up ahead. You could run back into the room and hide, prepare a firebolt to cast down the hall, or cast an illusion to try and distract whoever is coming. Alright, 3 options, guys. They're about to make us 80 gold, though. I mean, solid, right? We're rich. I got 130 gold here. But the question remains, what do? We can hide in the room we just came from. We can zap them as they come up to us, or we can try and distract them. Kind of pricey, that illusion spell. Two for the other option. We only got 5 left. What we gonna do? Man, we're hurt. We're running low on magic, but boy, are we rich. 4 years of wages for an average laborer. Yep, guys. Another windfall like that, and we're retiring early. That first haul that we got, we shared with Reginald. I wonder if we're still sharing with Reginald, or if we owe him some of this. Alright, it's kind of a split decision, but people are in favor of illusion, it would seem. Illusion is my favorite school of magic in D&D, so I'm happy people are liking that one. That's 7 votes cast. Let's go ahead and call it. We're going to cast an illusion, y'all. Reginald who? That's our gold. Oh, it's never good when the text says an interesting choice, is it? An interesting choice. You wave your hands and infuse yourself with magical energy. Now you must prepare in your mind the illusion. In order to project a convincing illusion, it's best to pick something you have seen before. But you are tempted to pick something fearsome in order to scare them. What will the illusion be of? Horde of goblins or a dragon? It's interesting, interesting. I would be scared of either one, personally. Alright. Quick poll. We gotta make a snap decision. Goblins or dragon? Goblins or dragon? There's a light coming towards us. Goblins or dragon? We're gonna do it in 30 seconds. Go! Oh, good night, Irish. Thanks for hanging out, man. I appreciate you sticking with us for so long. Oh, well, we're 100% on a horde of goblins. That's what we're doing. You cast the spell, and a horde of illusory goblins, armed with spears, materialize running down the hall, yipping and snarling. Reginald has worked with your illusions before. He knows what to do. He runs down the hall at a pace just behind your goblins, sword drawn. Around the corner appears 2 cloaked men, priests of Nerul, you suppose. They freeze for a moment, completely taken by surprise, and then begin hurling bolts of darkness at the goblins in front of the charge. The bolts go through the illusions, and you can see in their torchlight that the priests are furious at being tricked. Too late for them. Reginald closes on them with his sword and cuts them both down. You take the time to search the bodies and find golden unholy symbol medallions on each of them, as well as 1 silver dagger. Not bad for 20 seconds of work. I tire of looting corpses. Let us be off, to find the merchants and a glorious reward, you exclaim. Man, I don't know. The merchants are gonna have a reward, like, nearly so good as all the gold you're finding doing this. 60 more gold. This is a profitable business we have found for ourselves. Off you go, deeper into the castle. Soon you'll find yourself in a library. However, all the books are gone from the tall wooden shelves, either stolen or destroyed. As a wizard, this is disappointing to you. All castle libraries have secret doors, you announce. After searching for a little while, you notice a small statue of a little winged boy reading a book worked into the stone wall. You press on the statue's arm, and it shifts down. There is a grinding sound, and you see the bookshelf nearby crack open from the wall. You wedge your fingers into the gap and pry open the door. Immediately before you are stairs, descending into darkness. Dear reader, normally I would give you a choice of whether or not you go down the stairs, but really, who finds a secret door and chooses not to investigate? And so, with lantern in hand, you descend a few steps and listen. It's deathly quiet down here, and chilly. You urge Reginald to take the lead. After all, he is wearing the armor. There is a small metal lever on the inside of the passage that you suppose is what you use to open the door from the inside. Nevertheless, you decide to leave the door open. The last thing you need is to get trapped in this evil-smelling place. It is some time before you finally reach a small, empty chamber. On the far wall is a large iron door. Scrawled over the door in rusty red dye, or more likely, dried blood, is a set of elaborate symbols. "Gods, what is that?" says Reginald, playing the lantern light over the symbols. "It is writing in the infernal tongue," you say, "a language of devils, demons, and beasts that inhabit the nightmare universes. At times I do not envy your knowledge," says Reginald with a faint shudder. "The study of magic leads to many dark places," you say. "The trick is to not wander too far into the void." "What does it say?" asks Reginald, in a tone that is not at all enthusiastic or curious. You study the symbols. They are crudely drawn, as though in haste, perhaps scrawled by bloody fingers. "I cannot be sure. I believe it is a ward of some sort, a protection spell." "A protective spell using such a foul language?" Reginald sniffs. "I would expect a curse or some fiendish summoning." "It is protection against such summoning. A barrier," you say. "Evil knows evil best, and a spellcaster of black magic understands the need to protect himself from the terrors they bring into this world." Reginald grimaces and points the tip of his sword at the warded door. "Only a fool would go down there, although I am more a man of curiosity than wisdom." You slap his shoulder, making a dull sound against his breastplate. "As you have proven time and again. What do you want to do?" What do, guys? Scary door? Ward against evil? Do it? Or not do it? Hey, Broken Adventurer, welcome! I'm sorry if I only noticed you arriving. You've been here for a minute, but we are doing a Choose Your Own Adventure game. And there's a poll at the top of the chat to decide which thing we're doing, which button I'm clicking, and which route in this story we are pursuing. We're gonna give just 45 more seconds on this one. Everyone's been doing a great job of voting quickly for me. So far, we have a unanimous vote for opening that door. God, I love you. You guys are great. Let's go ahead and do it. That's what I want to do, too. Maybe there's a treasure room beyond. You joke. "Fortune and glory, my friend," Reginald says with a broad smile. The large iron door shudders and screeches as Reginald slowly pries it open. Once open, your friend's face drops, and you soon realize why. A powerful stench wafts up from the dark stairs below. He takes a deep breath and plunges down the stairway. Not treasure indeed. The two of you descend for some time before you enter a large room, eerily illuminated by green flaming torches fastened to each of the walls. Near the far wall is a dais, leading up to an altar with skulls inlaid into the frame, some human, others of animals, or perhaps monsters. The lower altar is blood-stained and covered with candles in golden candle holders arranged around the book. The book is bound in what might very well be mummified human skin, with hand and finger bones embedded into the cover as though the book were in the grasp of the dead. The title is in Infernal, but you don't recognize the words. Beyond the book is a raised part of the altar, white stone seemingly scoured clean of bloodstains. This surface has more candles, a golden cup, and a large golden bowl filled with some dark liquid. Maybe blood. Just before the altar is a narrow but deep pit. Shining the lantern in, you can make out something, gleaming white. A skeletal arm and hand. Reginald adds his light to yours, and you can now see a heap of bodies at various stages of decay. The heap is crawling with rats and other vile scavengers. Sacrifices. The source of the stench, you mutter. I would bet my last copper that Kiva's father and the rest of the caravan are among them. Reginald makes a face of disgust. I say we swiftly pilfer what we can from this unholy place, and leave. As he says this, the bowl on the upper altar begins to tremble, as the candlelight around it ripples. Something is coming, you whisper. It is already here, says Reginald. Smoke billows up from the bowl and begins taking the form of a horned fiend. His glowing, pitiless eyes rove about the chamber, taking in everything. Demon! You shout. Despite the terrified look on his face, Reginald has already unslung his backpack as though preparing to scoop up valuables from the altar. He might have the right idea. After all, you came here for loot, and it might take a moment for this shadow beast to fully take form. That strange book might be valuable. Finally, maybe you can disrupt this fiend's arrival by knocking over the bowl, but do you dare? After all, this monster hasn't acknowledged you yet, and messing about with his bowl is likely a dangerous way to introduce yourself. What do you do? I'm going to leave this here for a second, then we're going to scroll up and enjoy the art while we take our poll of what to do. If you're just arriving, we are voting on which path to take in this little choose-your-own-adventure game. Just vote 1, 2, or 3, depending on which outcome you'd like to see. Grab the book and run, for 1. Try to disrupt the fiend's arrival, for 2. Or, no time for any of this. Run! For number 3. We have 3 mana and 9 life. How's this gonna go? Here's our cool altar with books, candles, bowls, and the like. I closed the door. This is my money. Frog mustache twirl. Very nice. Dancer hot. Reginald, you go first. I'll follow in about 10 minutes. Speaking of time, let's go ahead and put that 1-minute clock on what to do. Disrupt the summoning, says Mira. Could work. Could not work. Hey, Locos, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you being here. This is Misty Mountain Streaming. We experience cool stories. We normally play D&D, Monday nights and Wednesday nights. Friday nights we do a little of stuff with the community, and right now we're doing a choose-your-own-adventure game. And I'm having a lot of fun with it, even though my voice is slowly dying. Put those options back up there. 1 is grab and run. 2 is disrupt the arrival. 3 is run now. Like, run now. No looting. If it doesn't work, hellish fiends will be more negative than our gold is positive. That's potentially true, Nira. However, disrupting the fiend's arrival is the popular vote right now. And there went our timer. So that's what we're gonna do. Here we go. Alright, Locos, thanks for saying hey. I love it when people come into the chat. You're welcome to just sit and watch, but I really enjoy it when people get involved. Alright, disrupting arrival, here we go. The bowl is on the upper table of the altar, presently out of reach. You could jump on the lower table, grab the bowl, and throw it across the room, or down into the sacrificial pit. Another option would be to try to just quickly knock over the bowl by throwing your backpack at it. You should be able to retrieve your backpack easily, if you disrupt the summoning. So it's a complicated choice, y'all. We're doing what y'all want, but we gotta decide how we do what y'all want. That backpack, I bet she's got all her gold in it, just saying. So let's start a new poll for what do, 1 or 2? Hey, Defy Kfub. Defy Cuff. Hello, welcome, thank you for the follow. I'm sure I mispronounced that, but I'm glad you're here. We're voting on how we should try and disrupt this demon summoning. We could throw our backpack full of our belongings at it, or rush over, grab the bowl, and throw it somewhere. Misfit, hello! We're doing a choose your own adventure. We're a wizard. We have this friend Reginald. He's a fighter. We're trying to save people and make money. But we're in a room with a demon, who's almost here. Oh, everybody wants to go grab that throw. Nobody's like, we got 190 gold in our backpack. We are not throwing that backpack. I know that. Yeah. Oh, but Misfit did not have to work hard to go get that backpack, to fill that with gold. She fine with throwing it. Misfit, I see your vote in the chat. I got a poll that you can use to vote for your favorite outcome, but for now, we're gonna go ahead and grab that bowl and throw it and see how that works out for us. Reginald thinks we're friends. Yeah, Reginald's got another thing coming. Alright. Grab and throw. The old grab and throw. Reginald gets to work blowing out candles and throwing the golden candlesticks into his backpack as you leap onto the lower table of the altar. The fiend turns his burning eyes to you as you grab the lip of the bowl. Fool! You cannot hinder me! Shouts the fiend in the infernal language, his voice a hiss. A deadly cold has seized you, and your muscles seem unwilling to obey you. Nevertheless, you muster your strength and lift the bowl. The beast reaches into you with its shadowy claw. We got 50 gold from that, somehow. We are brave, though. I don't like... TD Pod says, worked! And, I shudder to think what the next screen is going to have in store. So, here we go. You shout out in pain. You shout out as pain lances through your body. The next thing you know, you're falling back down onto the altar and roll off that onto the floor. You come to rest at the edge of the sacrificial pit, your arm dangling into it. Above, you hear the dull clang of what might be a golden bowl bouncing. A hissing scream of rage echoes through the chamber. "We must flee!" comes Reginald's voice in your ears. You feel yourself being roughly lifted. Your friend gets you to your feet, and your strength has returned enough for you to support your own weight. The bowl is gone, perhaps fallen to the side of the altar or down into the pit. Unfortunately, the fiendish shadow is still there, swirling high up in the chamber. He has lost some of his shape, but he is reforming. The torches dim and flicker as though their greenish light is being sucked in by the beast's malevolent rage. Reginald pulls you towards the door as your strength returns, allowing you to go from a staggering walk to a jog. Your souls are mine, comes the hissing voice. Now your strength returns, and soon you are bolting up the stairs, leaping 3 steps at a time. There is a wheezing snarl not far behind. You make it through the large iron door. The door is heavy and the hinges are tight. Nevertheless, you expect that if you hurl your weight against it, you can knock it shut, but this will take time, and the demon is nearly upon you. What do you do? We're gonna do another quick one, guys. We have a snap decision to make. We don't have a lot of time to decide. What do? We do 1? We do 2? Do we close door? Do we run? We're gonna go for 30 seconds on this one. Quick decisions! Yes, we're up to 240 gold. We're some rich-ass motherfuckers, if we survive this. Ooh, it's kind of close. That's it. Time's up. No time, guys. We're booking it. We're running. Oh, last second vote for trying to close it. Even so, it didn't even tie it up. We're running. You decide there's no time for anything but running. Freedom. Comes a raspy shout, followed by laughter. You turn on the speed for the next stairway and have nearly caught up to Reginald at the top when you feel a sudden, overpowering chill. Hisses a voice in your head. You resist, and it's like your soul is being ripped apart. Despite your pain, you keep going, following Reginald out of the secret door, out of the library, and down several passageways. Rounding a corner, you are suddenly in a large room filled with the soft light of dozens of candles. In the middle are 3 of the evil priests, holding hands and surrounding what appears to be a pile of corpses. The men are chanting in the infernal language. One of the corpses begins to twitch. Just to the side of the priests stands the massive ogre. The ogre fixes his cold, dark eyes upon Reginald. Meanwhile, the corpse that had been twitching springs up to its feet with alarming speed. You think you recognize him as the one of the priests you killed earlier. The undead creature levels its hungry gaze upon you. What do you do? Alright, guys. Here's the thing. I'm gonna put in the 1, 2, 3, 4 in this next poll, but we just can't do number 2. We are out of mana. Mana, whatever I've been saying so far. So, nobody can vote for 2, because we're running on empty here. But we can either attack with our dagger, we can try and charm the ogre, use the last of our mana to get a big thing on our side, maybe? Spells don't always work like they're supposed to. But if that one works, man, that'd be good. Or do the time-honored tactic of run away! Poll is started. Let's start the clock. Let's do a minute on this one. Ooh, lots of love for Charm the Ogre so far. The demon got us anyways. Hey, we're alive. We got 5 life left. It sounds like we're leaving this place. I suspect the end of the chapter is just ahead if we can survive to get there. Why, you fools! 20 more seconds. How we doing? Still a lot of love for Charm the Ogre. Alright, that'll do it. Charming the Ogre we are. We're gonna be running on absolute empty from here on out. That dude, Daniel, what the hell is up, my buddy? We are doing a Choose Your Own Adventure tonight. I haven't heard from you in a long time. You gotta come back on Mondays and be the Clip King again. And I also gotta remember to run the clip contest again. Alright. Crushing move. You dominated. Alright. Oh man, that 0 on mana makes me uncomfortable. You point to the ogre and recite magical words, pausing now and then to blow kisses into the air. The ogre, who was about to swing his mighty club at Reginald, instead turns his attention to you. You're not entirely sure, but you think you see the soft glow of ogre affection in those large, dark orbs. One of the priests throws a large candle at you and begins reciting a spell. When the poorly aimed and weakly thrown candle misses you, the ogre slams the priest in the face with his club, smashing it like a melon. "Yes! Yes!" you shout to the ogre. "Kill them all!" The undead corpse springs at you, but the ogre grabs it by the leg in midair and crashes it into the floor. The ogre and the zombie then grapple each other, clawing, biting, and strangling. Reginald has since gathered his wits and slays another of the priests with his sword. The two of you fall upon the remaining priest, the old medieval way, cutting and stabbing with blades. Soon that poor fool is nothing more than a bloody mess on the floor. You look over and see that the ogre has dismembered the now motionless undead priest, but in the process, however, it has been grievously wounded. Its neck has been ripped open, and purplish blood is pumping out. It looks at you, pleadingly, before collapsing. Ooh, you can spend luck points to improve your stats and possibly get you through tough parts. You will now find an option to boost your survival stats at the bottom of your choices. I think we're fine. As you and Reginald catch your breath, from somewhere in the castle echoes the distinct, raspy cackle of that dark spirit with the hellish eyes. A chill goes up your spine. You do not want to tangle with that thing again. You suspect neither your spells nor blades can harm it. Perhaps it would be wise to run from this cursed place. On the other hand, maybe you could afford to take a few seconds to search the bodies of your recently fallen enemies. But there is still the matter of the merchant's daughter, Kiva. What do you do? Should we boost survival stats first, guys? You know what? Y'all have been good. Let's boost them a little. There you go. We got enough for maybe a spell later. Alright, so now we can search the bodies, find Kiba, or run like the rich cowards we are. 1, 2, and 3. Let's start. We can charm more ogres now. Exact, Sprinkle. This is why you are a Lich King. Always thinking. The daughter can wait. Looting is temporary. Yeah, true. We can be very rich and take the now possessed daughter of a merchant home to the Ring City with us. Oh, 4 mana? Okay, since you're up so late, there's 4. Ooh, it's a 50-50 split again, guys. If you're listening in and you have an opinion and haven't cast it yet, it might be the deciding vote. Otherwise, I'm going to break out a D20. No one wants to just run. Y'all some brave people. Mira is petitioning any non-voting pollers to vote for 2. We need to be able to blast Fireball if y'all want to hang around till the imp finds us. Sarah's here. We made it back to our condo. I posted a photo in the Discord. Very nice. Hey, Sarah, do you want to be... Oh, wait, there's the deciding vote. I don't know if it was Sarah's or someone else's, but we're going to find Kiba. That's what I wanted to do. Kiva seems nice, poor girl. Come, Reginald. We must find her, you say. The two of you are debating where exactly you should go to accomplish this, when there's a blood-curdling scream not far off. Before you can react, you see Kiva, her eyes bloodshot, run into the candlelight. Gods be praised, you exclaim. Gods, we must flee! A monster comes! Kiva shouts. The three of you run. The ears! The ears! You complain as you run through the castle entrance chamber, you referring to the goblin corpses from which you could harvest trophies. No number of rubbery ears are worth your soul! Reginald exclaims. Despite your present anxiety, this strikes you as somewhat funny, and you plan to remind him of his words later. If you survive. For now, you do as your friend advises and keep running. The three of you retreat to the forest. You are all exhausted. And so, once safely away from that cursed ruin, and reasonably certain that no evil follows, you make camp. Because you are still in goblin country, you decide against the campfire. Instead, you will have to just make do with the sleeping roll in your backpack. It is a rather cold night, and you notice Kiva carries nothing but the ripped-up clothing on her back. What do you do? Offer to share a blanket? Offer her your blanket? Or shrug and go to sleep? Which one? 1, 2, or 3? Let's see. We made it into the castle. We did make it into the castle. More importantly, we made it out of the castle. And rich. We got 240 gold right now, Sarah. Don't tell us what to do, Dad. Now grab those ears while the daughter and us flee. Dancer, I am glad I am not your Reginald. I would have a bad time. Right up until I died. Oh my god. It's a 3-way split. Might have to roll a d6 on this one, guys. No one changes their mind or no one else votes. There's a, we'll see. I actually remember a little about this choice. Oh, offer to share just pulled ever so slightly ahead. I reckon that's what we're going for, then. We're gonna offer to share a blanket. How generous of us. A little creepy, but how generous of us. Ha! You cad! Naughty, naughty. Got some luck out of that, though. You cad! I'm tempted to give you a morale point for your bold choice, but unfortunately this scene does not play out that way. You invite Kiva to share your blanket with you. She cocks her head and gives you a suspicious look, and politely declines. Reginald offers his own blanket. She smiles at him, takes the blanket with a curtsy, and goes off to find a tree to curl up around. It would have been warmer still with me, you think to yourself. Alas, not everyone can be as practical as you are. Since Reginald is cold anyway, he decides to take first watch. You're awoken well before dawn, and you loan him your blanket as you sit up to keep an eye out for danger. As you settle into your watch, your eyes wander to the sleeping merchant's daughter. A sliver of moonlight has escaped through the branches above and illuminates her delicate nose. You decide that it's a pretty little nose. You feel a pang of guilt. The young maiden has just lost her father, you think. She's not simply some young woman you met at an inn that you might like to try to charm. You were never that good at charming anyway. That was always Reginald's talent. He always told you that it was because you think too much and can never allow your natural charm to shine through. You turned your attention away from the sleeping girl and into the dark gloom of the forest. It's obvious that you need something to occupy your thoughts in order to stay awake. Another checkpoint. We've been going a while. I thought we would have hit the end of the chapter by now, guys. Anybody here in the chat with me? Go ahead and let me know what you want to do. Do you want to keep going and push for the end of the chapter? Or do you want to call it a night and come back to this on another Friday? Dancer Hawk, now Reginald needs to die. Hawk blocking Reginald. Dang it. Dancer's good to keep going. It's 4 a.m. for Mira. That is a good bedtime. Fine with either. Dealer's choice. I don't have a strong memory for when this chapter ends. Let's see, what are... Dabs has got a peace out. We've got a good few people watching right now, but... Hey, Cold Rolled Steel! Hey, how's it going? Did you just get here? We're actually just talking about wrapping up, potentially. I could absolutely keep going, but, let's see. I swear I showered. Good night, Dabs. Good night, buddy. You know what? Let's go ahead and call it a stream here. And we will come back and pick it up right at this checkpoint next time. Hopefully it will save our progress and whatnot. I don't believe it shouldn't. And I enjoy doing this. If you guys like it, let us know in our Discord. If you're not already a member of the Discord, here's how you join it. Boom, link in the chat. It's always a question mark of what we do on Fridays. Sometimes it's Jackbox, sometimes it's Golf with Your Friends, it's been Among Us in the past. It's been something to keep you guys involved and engaged in whatever we're doing, because it's harder to involve you guys in a D&D game. But I really do like interacting with y'all directly. And this is run off of my phone. This is something I could do even if I was out on the road for working a convention or something. So if you didn't hate this, then let us know and maybe we'll do it again. Hopefully soon, because I like this story. And man, I want to get to the Rogue's Choice chapters. Those are fun. Anyway, thank you guys all for hanging out and spending this time with me, spending your Friday night. Spending your Saturday morning, in Mira's case, I guess. Thank you especially for staying up so late. Love you guys. Tune in with us Monday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. We're going to be continuing our brand new D&D campaign of Broken Hearts. And you can always catch us playing The Wild Beyond the Witchlight on Wednesdays, also starting at 7 CST. We always start at 7 CST. We like consistency and predictability and giving you guys something to plan around. Until next time, guys... In case you don't hear it anywhere else this week, I love you guys. I will see you Monday. Farewell, and Godspeed, friends and adventurers.